Hello, everyone. We are still on the road with Jesus. I think this will be our last Sunday of drawing the journey with Jesus and his disciples. You can remember we started way back here with the wise travelers through into the synagogue where Jesus proclaimed good news and then called his disciples to fish for people, and then into another synagogue where he argued with the leaders about the Sabbath and then healed a man's hand. And then last week, when he healed a widow's son and he came back to life, and then word about him spread all over the countryside. So I did have to add a paper to our journey with Jesus. So this Sunday, Jesus journeys up a mountain. He goes there with some disciples that we've met before, Peter and John and James. Those were the fishermen from this story back here. So we met them before. They went up the mountain with Jesus, and they went to pray. Here we go. We're going to make some prayer hands, just like the emoji. I think that sort of looks like prayer hand emoji. I feel like I did them better when I practiced them. So there they go. They go up the mountain to spend some time in prayer. And when they're on the top of the mountain, I'm going to do that thing that you sometimes see on maps where you have like a magnifying glass to the top of the mountain. Magnify the top of the mountain. So when they're on the top of the mountain, all of a sudden, they see that Jesus, his clothes, when I read the story for this one, it said his clothes were flashing like lightning. Sometimes it says they become bright white. He transforms so that his clothes are bright white, or in this version that I read, flashing like lightning. And with Jesus were two men, and we learn that those men are Moses. Here we go. I'm going to give this person some tablets like in the 10 Commandments. There they are. So that's Moses. With Jesus are Moses and Elijah. I don't know if this is true, but I'm going to give both of these Old Testament prophets beards. And Elijah, he gets to have a raven because there's a story about Elijah being fed by ravens. So there they are. They're on the top of this mountain. And Jesus is transformed so that his clothes are bright white or flashing like lightning. And these two men from their stories that they know, Moses and Elijah are with him. And these disciples, I still don't have room for them, but you can imagine they're so sleepy because they've been staying up all night. But they see this happening, and Peter, let's say this was Peter, he says to Jesus, "Oh, Jesus, let me just put up 3 tents so that you can all stay together." But as he's saying this, a cloud overshadowed them and surrounded them. So there's a cloud that's overshadowing everything that's happening. We want to make sure we don't leave out these friends. The cloud is overshadowing them. And then from the cloud, they hear the words. And of course, this cloud has overcome them. It's very frightening. They're just in awe and they're scared. But from the cloud, there comes a voice, and it said, "This is my son, my chosen one. Listen to him. Listen to my son." I'm going to make this speech bubble coming from the cloud. From this cloud, they hear these words. And then Jesus was by himself. These two disappear. They go away. Jesus is just all by himself. And the disciples, they don't know what to say. They can't say anything. In fact, they didn't tell anybody what they had just seen, even after they go back down the mountain. I wonder if that's because they didn't know what to do. They didn't know what had happened. They'd never seen anything like that before. They'd never seen Jesus transformed. They'd never seen Moses and Elijah, who they knew from the stories in their Bibles. They'd never seen that while they were praying. And I wonder if they just thought it was a dream because they were very sleepy. They didn't know what was happening. This is the last story in our drawing the journey with Jesus, but it's not the last story in our Bibles. So we'll have to keep listening for where Jesus goes next.